It's nice to see dark fantasy coming back because last year we also had a show called Clevatess.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
I feel like that and Sentence to Be a Hero has just been like classic dark fantasy coming back, where it is less just like, oh, here's some edgy fan servicey kind of like show, and more actually, okay, we're actually going to spend time and effort with proper world building, building up this cool fucking fantasy world with its own logic and own rules and everything. I feel like my only issue with this show right now is that the story is a little bit tropey.
For sure.
It's kind of like, oh, okay, the church is the bad guy in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like everyone is so annoyingly like racist towards heroes. But it's like I wholeheartedly believe in this world that heroes could be seen as like, oh my God, you can't go near those guys. But like to an extent that you're like, oh my.
But that's what makes me want to know why in this society heroes are treated this way. Like what led it? Has it always been like this in this world? And if not, what led it to become like this?
Yeah, because we don't have the, at least in episode 3, we're missing a lot of the context of why everyone seems to be so terrified and hates these guys. Whereas like when the miners get like rescued by the heroes, they're like, hey, I think you're cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought you were just a dumb, stupid hero, but you're all right, miss. You ain't white boy.
So, I think I'm just hoping that there is a bit of progression on the point where they kind of explain that aspect of it a bit more.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, we all just hate them. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, because my problem with Shield Hero, and it's something that I don't think this is going to fall into, and I hope this doesn't fall into, is when so they both are revenge stories about against like someone or a system that has wronged the main character.
Yes.
In Shield Hero, it is like everyone is the dumbest motherfucker in this world and the most incompetent person, and it's now Fumi who is the only actual competent person.
Yeah.
And the narrative like brings him up by bringing everyone else down.
Yeah.
And I feel that's just a little bit cheap and a little bit like, okay, kind of like takes me out of it. It makes the story and the characters feel less realized, and it more feels like the world is revolving around the character as opposed to just the character being an aspect of this world itself.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope that this doesn't fall into the trap, because right now Xylo seems like he can do a triple backflip, save 5 armies, and people be like, nah, you a fucking hero though. I'm blind.
Like, so
I'm blind.
annoying.
Yeah. He's a filthy hero.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I could understand there being a lot of prejudice there.
Yeah.
But like even when he saves the Holy Knights initially, there's like no wavering whatsoever in their prejudice at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand that they've been conditioned, but it's like, it doesn't feel realistic because you could still be extremely racist or prejudiced against all the heroes. But if the guy just saved your life, you might be like, eh. You know what I mean? You might like, you might drop it for a second.
Yeah.
And that's a very human thing to do, to put on a face to someone and lie to them, especially if you don't respect them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like that. That was like kind of, what I feel is keeping this from being like the top tier shows that might.
Yeah.
Some of the other shows, 10 episodes in.
Yeah,
10 episodes in. So a bunch of other characters are introduced 10 episodes in. And we are currently right now kind of in like a pivotal point, I guess, because this is only a 1 core, I believe. So there's only going to be 12 episodes.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Which is a shame. But there is a lot of material in the original light novel. So I reckon there's going to be a season 2 of this. But even if not, right now we're kind of in like this interesting case where like we're slowly starting to figure out what the demons might actually be, or what they're even capable of being.
Yeah.
And it's also building a really interesting point about how the humans in this world interact with not only the church, the holy church that is clearly reigning supreme on everybody, but also the people who are against that church or even against the demons, and how their dynamics are happening. So it's kind of going in an interesting direction. I hope they continue to like explore that, because it is, I think, an interesting point that makes the world feel more alive, like independent of the characters. But again, I don't know, because I've never read the source.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad there's like factions, because I think that makes the world a lot more you know,
like
authentic.
organic. Yeah,
yeah, because you know
yeah.
there would be different levels of devotion and
Yeah.
extremists,
Yeah.
you know, depending on what their beliefs are, right?
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
Especially in such a big kingdom.
Yeah, I think the thing that stood out for me about this thing, outside of just the amazing animation, production values, and action, and all that, is just it's an interesting world with you know, its own like political system as well, but also the concepts, not only the hero dynamics as well and the hero mechanism, but also just having your weapons of mass destruction be like be just little girls, little girls.
Yeah,
you know?
I want to get some. I hope later on or at some point they explain why the fuck it's little girls.
Yeah.
Well, we do actually. I think it's in like episode 7 or 8. We do very briefly see another goddess,
yeah.
like very, very briefly.
Because she's like number 20.
13.
Oh, 13.
yeah, but it's only ever been known that there were 12.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Teodita is like the secret 13th goddess, and no
Yeah.
one knows why.
Oh.
And that's been
which-
hidden by the church.
because they say it in the dialogue when they say like something about she's a mistake or something.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah.
some kind of failed experiment.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
It's a flashback.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you see like the 8th goddess or something, and she also demands head pats. So I guess it's just like a goddess neutral thing.
It's just a
Light novels always have something like this.
This
All
is the
goddesses
power
need
fantasy. This is the power fantasy part of this fantasy
every
series.
single fucking edgy ass show will have one moment where they're like, "But we demand head pats." You're like,
Men
all
want
right.
one thing, and it's to give head pats to cute anime girls. You know,
It's
that's
true.
That is all we want.
Valid.
All right.
Is
But
it a
yeah.
crime to want head pats?
God.
We don't always want to be Kirito or Sung Jin Woo.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to give cute anime girls head pats. That's it. That's it.
But I really
Exactly.
enjoyed Norgal when they went a little bit into the sacred stones. I already said it.
Sacred seals.
I said it
Yeah.
earlier. I
Yeah.
forgot it. The sacred seal system. Like I
Yeah.
thought that was a really cool system because it kind of
And how he kind of has he's like kind of the only one known that possesses the ability to create seals as well.
yes,
right?
he mentioned briefly that it would take 4 to 5 really skilled people to work on one seal, and
Yeah.
he can
Yeah.
somehow do it alone.
And he's like, I can do it in 5 minutes.
yeah, and yeah, Xylo is using like a couple of them,
yeah.
which is like his explosion power.
Yeah.
But again, there's like quite a lot left to be explained. And it's just really fun. Like the world, they've given enough about some of the systems that keeps it really engaging and it makes the world feel organic and real and there's stuff going on, which is exciting. I always love when fantasy worlds do that. Take 2 minutes to explain something that teases more depth.
Yeah.
Because that's fun. That's what people want in fantasy.
I love a story that doesn't treat its audience like they're dumbasses.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Yeah.
that's the thing that throws me off about a lot of like the modern isekai shows is that they treat people like the people who watch these like they're dumbasses, where they need to like lay off like in order every single minuscule detail and not leaving any room for the audience to be like, oh, let's speculate on like how the world works or how the power system works or anything like that. Which I'm glad that this show at least is doing a lot more than other isekai or like fantasy shows of recent times.
How is the pacing? Because episode 1 to 2 is quite a stark slowdown in the pacing,
Yeah.
which obviously was going to happen given how hype episode 1 was.
Yeah.
But it does slow down. I'd say quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the next couple of episodes, I can
epi-
imagine that could be hard to keep people.
The fight in episode 5 is just as good, if not better, than episode 1 in terms of animation. It is crazy. Like, I'm just like, they can't peak after episode 1. And then I think it's like episode 5 or 6. I'm like, okay, I've spoken too soon. This
Yeah.
is insane.
Because the only thing that I'm not a fan of in these shows when there's like a lot of fighting going on is that when we watch them just fight and kill little mobs for like 2 minutes in a scene, it's like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
we know,
Chop,
we know none of these guys pose a fucking problem to you. I just fucking skip this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's boring. Like, I don't want to watch the MC
Yeah.
mow down the 900th mob in this episode. It's like, you know, a lot of the times it can feel very samey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the only criticism I think I had, at least during the cave fight. It was like, okay, we're killing these little centipede things a lot.
Yeah.
And then we get to the sequence with the plant monster.
Yeah.
Where they have that awesome sequence where Norgal chops his leg off.
Yeah.
And goes like fucking berserk to try and
Yeah.
stab this thing in the eye. And that was like a really, when they started fighting that monster, that was cool.
Yeah.
Because it was like a puzzle. How do they beat this thing? But for the whole first part of the episode, they're just fighting these fucking centipedes that just keep
Yeah.
respawning. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I get it. We're protecting the people. But just chop.
Yeah,
my brain is rotted. Come on.
And they do that a couple more times in like the I guess the story arc after the mine. But after that one, around like episode 6 or 7 is where I guess they get to like the main meat of the story, because there's a bunch of characters that are introduced that are very like, it takes the story in like a slightly different direction.
Awesome. Okay.
Where it's not just a matter of like kaiju of the week. Like it's like you learn a lot more about these demon spawns and that they're actually way more intelligent than what everybody thinks they are.
Oh, wow.
And that's like a really, it's not, they don't do anything new. Like they don't reinvent the wheel or anything, but it's just nice that they decided to, you know, maybe just like skip the whole monster of the week thing and actually add a little more depth into what the demon spawns actually are. So
this is the rare case where you actually watch more than us.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, like after episode 3, I was like, shit, I want to know what happens. Like, I want to keep watching this. So after I filmed my 3-episode reaction, I just continued watching.
You
off
just
camera.
kept going.
Yeah,
You're
I was
like,
like, I want to know what happens, dude. There's like 10 episodes out. I'll watch it, and it was great.
It is a
Awesome.
great show.
Yeah, really good. I'm
really
such a sucker
enjoyed
for good dark fantasy, and I'm glad that it's coming back.
very,
we need
very
more
fun
of it.
show.
Yeah.
I recommend you watch Clevatess as well, because the season 2 is coming out this year as well. So
Was Clevatess really good?
I've heard good things about it.
if you enjoyed this, the production values aren't that as high, but it's just classic dark fantasy with its own kind of like everything I said about Sentence to Be a Hero, I can also say about Clevatess as well.
Okay.
I think a lot about shows like Claymore quite often, and I really loved the world of Claymore.
Yeah.
And kind of the vibe they had going, and I just wish that it didn't get shit. But
Sure.
I think about that world a lot, and I really, really like that fantasy world.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. So
Yeah.
anything that can recapture that kind of vibe, I really like.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, Clevatess is, this was like my biggest surprise of last year, because I thought it was just gonna be another like trashy fantasy show.
Yeah.
But it was honestly just like a lot of fun. The world revolves around like 4, I don't know if they're called demon lords, but 4 big monsters that are so fucking powerful that they basically determine like world politics and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Cool.
humanity has been trying to kill one monster, which is one of the main characters, which is I can't remember his name because it's been a while since I watched it. His name is his name is just Clevatess.
Clevatess.
I should have remembered that.
Could he possibly be the titular character?
Yeah. And in episode 1, they bring a gang together to try to kill Clevatess, and the gang gets completely soloed. And Clevatess is like, you know what? That kind of pissed me off. I'm just gonna wipe out humanity.
Oh, damn.
Why not? And then he ends up soloing this entire city by himself. And as he's killing the king, he discovers this like human baby.
Right.
And he's like, you know what? If I'm gonna wipe out, if I'm gonna wipe out humanity, I'm curious why they care about each other so much. So he kind of like adopts this baby to understand humanity in case he wants to wipe it off.
Right.
But he doesn't know a thing about babies, so he resurrects one of the first heroes he killed, called Alicia, who is a badass fucking knight with an eye patch, and he just resurrects her because he's that all powerful.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to pretend to be a human. Can you fucking take care of this baby while I learn about the human world?
Right.
And as you learn about the world, you figure out that there's something weird going on in the magic system. Humans may have more powerful technology than what they might be able to like let on. And there's a lot of mysteries in the world that are slowly being uncovered, right? It is a very it's a very, very fun dark fantasy show.
Okay.
Very, very brutal. And it doesn't treat its subject matter like the same as every other isekai fantasy. Like, for example, there is a girl there, right? There is a girl. They find this girl, and she is a prostitute, right?
Okay.
And she's also a slave as well. And you hear those two things in fucking isekai fantasy, you're like, okay, here we go again. But the way they treat these themes is they give it the same, like, they give it the respect that something this fucking dark and tragic should be given,
right?
You know, which is
not just like a throwaway like fan service character.
No, she's not. You can see how fucking dark these subject matters are. And it feels weird to say when I talk about shit like and slavery.
Yeah.
And you hear that in traditional isekai, you kind of roll your eyes because you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, here we go
It's
again.
Here we
Like
go
some
again.
weird fantasy thing going on.
Yeah.
exactly.
This is just trying to be edgy, but no, when I started taking this series seriously was when it treated these subject matters with the same level of respect as you would expect for something like this.
Yeah, right.
And it's just a really interesting world.
Which isn't it slightly sad to say that is like an uncommonality in
Yeah,
anime?
right?
Like it should be commonplace for any kind of like fantasy or like writing when
Right.
using those kinds of sensitive topics. And the fact that somehow the genre has evolved to the point where people just can't take those kinds of things seriously anymore is
yeah.
a little sad.
Yeah, I mean, because it's quite a childish way to use them a lot of the time. It
Yeah.
feels like,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
It feels like cheap.
It feels like
throwing it in
oh,
because of wow, no one's done this
Oh,
before.
it's edgy.
it's like I feel like a lot of the times it's there for shock value.
Yes.
Or there to, for example, the slavery trope in fantasy anime is that, oh, the main character is, becoming is buying the slave, but it's because he's one of the good slave
Yeah.
owners, literally Shield Hero,
Yeah,
actually.
Naofumi.
Literally Naofumi.
Yeah.
It's like, guys,
No,
He bought Raftalia from the kindness of his own heart.
No, he's treating her well. He's
He's
treating
the
her
good
well.
guy.
And it kind of like, to me, it kind of like cheapens the story because
Yes.
it's just
Yeah, of
like,
course.
okay,
I
we're
agree.
just going into this trope. This to me, because I still like, I name out this trope, but I enjoy enough shows with that trope in it. But to me, it is the indicator where I should go from actually enjoying a show for its storytelling, its world building, to just, okay, I'm just going to turn my brain off and just enjoy cheap power fantasy
Yeah,
stuff. That's
totally.
kind of like the indicator for me.
Yeah, it's a fine line, unfortunately.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah. But yeah, bottom line, yeah, fucking Sentence to be a Hero was
Watch it.
awesome.
Fantasy anime is peaking right now.
Yes.
It's doing good.
In every single
Thank
aspect.
God.
Like Freeren was this year. Next season.
I'm enjoying season 2 right now as well. It's been great.
next season we're getting Witch Hat Atelier, which is I'm
Yeah.
very, very excited
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, fantasy is back. Maybe it never went anywhere, but it feels like
Well, it
now
deviated a little,
Yeah.
I would say.
last
And by a little, I mean a
I mean,
lot.
we're just getting, I think, new iterations on and new takes on the story, and it's quite exciting to see the new takes.
Absolutely.
I think fantasy was stuck in a couple of pitfalls that it kind of always did, and I think it's. authors are learning to experiment a bit more.
it is still there in a lot of fantasy anime, but I feel like right now we are still getting the trashy power fantasy stuff, but there's a balance now. We are getting a lot of critically acclaimed, very well realized fantasy shows. So best of both worlds.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, this is probably the fantasy anime I'm most excited about coming out next season.
Yeah,
Witch Hat Atelier.
This is a very famous manga, right?
Very famous manga.
Yeah.
Has, I think, my favorite power system in fantasy anime or manga, I should say. Right
Is this
now,
the Shonen Jump one?
it is not Shonen Jump. I don't believe.
Which one am I thinking of?
It is. This is Kodansha. So
Kodansha, okay.
It won't be.
Oh, no,
Shonen
I'm thinking
Jump.
of which one?
Oh, it's still going on the manga as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going on, but like this is coming out next season, and there's a lot of great things about this show. But the thing that excites me the most is, to me, it has a power system that not many things can rival Nen in terms of my love for a power system, but I feel like this is up there.
Oh, word.
It's that good in my eyes.
All right. Looking forward to that. Then.
Yeah,
Bam. Can rival that.
yeah,
Big claim.
Yeah, big
Bro.
claim, big claim.
Can kill God.
But yeah.
That's exciting, dude.